Hello, everyone. It's Maxim here. And it's my second episode of Retail Grid podcast. So today I will be talking about retail pricing software. So nobody actually wakes up thinking, okay, should I buy like a new tool, new solution for pricing? So do you really need it? Do you need to invest into the like software today? So that's a good question. And let's maybe forget about tools and think about why we really um, what we really do in terms of the pricing, right? So when we are managing prices, um, so there are I say like four simple like steps, right? So to manage prices, first of all, I need to have a all the data on the table, right? So to collect all the data. So I need to have my data. So it's my current prices, cost information, sales performance, stock information, so product data, category data. So it's like internal data, and I need external data, my competitor prices, market data. So I need to collect into one place. So typically it's a like some kind of spreadsheet, right? So the next once I have the data, I need to decide. So what should be my price? Is my current price is optimal? So I'm looking into sales performance, to margin rules, uh, competitor rules, and I have some algorithms in Excel. I can have some formulas. So then I need to calculate my new price. So I need to make a decision. So once decision is done, is prepared and accepted, so I need to push my prices back to the commerce platform or ERP system. So I need to apply, right? And the last but not least, so as soon as I doing it like on the regular basis, like daily, weekly, uh, I somehow need to audit. So when I changed the price, why I did this, who really did it. So that's like a um, the process uh, in components, right? So and once you are like in a small business, right? You are like if you're a retailer, for example, or yeah, CPG company, you just started, you have not so many products, one store. So literally all those steps can be done in one spreadsheet. They can be done on the paper technically, right? So, but once the business is growing, it's getting more complex. You have more, the assortment is getting bigger, more products, more sales channels, more stores. Um, the organization is getting more complex. So the process is getting also complex. And one day you realize that the spreadsheet is not enough. So typical science, right? When it's something needs to be changed, right? So the spread, if your assortment is getting bigger and bigger, like thousands and thousands of products, at some point you feel that it takes minutes just to open this spreadsheet and to collect all the data and to update it. So it's getting really slow, and it can become a problem, right? Because if at the if at the beginning it took like some minutes to reprice products and very simple rules, but now with all these rules and data in the lots of products, the spreadsheet is getting too slow, so you cannot make price changes fast. Another thing is once we start like to be visible on the market, we are selling more and more products and we take into account competitor prices. That's getting really complex to support all the time matching between internal and external data. And if we're collecting prices by hand, manually, you feel that you need more and more data to match and to prepare in one spreadsheet to manage your prices, right? So yeah, the decision can be okay, it's slow, it's okay for us, we can do it like once a month or once a week, and like 1% of our products. But reality of the market is that if you're selling mass market products, you're like mass market categories, you're not luxury or premium, you need to be dynamic. Or there is a high chance that you lose this competition game, right? So that's why you need to be more dynamic, more proactive, and faster react on market price changes. Um, Another thing which typically happens when the company is like growing into small organization, I mean enterprise, um, and you have the team, so many category managers, you have buyers, merchandisers, pricing analysts, and the problem of audit and tracking and logging becomes a challenge. So somebody changed the price 2 months ago, and after you cannot understand why we have this price, who changed it, why, what was the reason, etc. So this investigation and it becomes like communication problem and a collaboration problem in the organization. So spreadsheet, it's hard to manage it in a collaborative way. So another problem related to organization is that if you have like your pricing, pricing is mm, shared across many different departments and people. You have many different copies of this Excel, and one person is doing in one, and after you need to merge all of them, and there are a lot of mistakes, data discrepancies. So it's getting really hard. So mistakes and prices cost money, sometimes lots of money. So, and at the end, the question is, okay, so yeah, to be really profitable, right, on the market, to have the winning pricing strategy, um, in most of the cases, we need to be dynamic. So we need to act fast, and we need to be smart in a way that we match our pricing with our value, right, with our demand. So we have some analytics behind that. We understand the price elasticity, etc. So spreadsheet cannot support it. When you're small, it's okay. Strategy can be very simple, but once you're getting bigger and the assortment is getting bigger, it's definitely not enough. So yeah, so when you're buying software, so first of all, before like you realize you have a problem, you need to buy a software, right? But um, first of all, you need to understand the next step, right? What you really need now, what kind of problem you're solving. You want to be more dynamic, it's one thing. You want to be like more data driven, more analytically driven, to have pricing, and you see the opportunity and profitability here. It's another. You want everything all together. It's another thing. So you should really decide what is your next step, and like in the okay, spreadsheet is too slow. It's not enough for us now. But what we do next, right? Because sometimes I see that, okay, you just say, I want a new pricing software solution. You put to the chat GPT and asking like, uh, to like find all the solutions and sort them by the functionality, etc. Some systems are very complex, lots of features, very expensive, but do you really need it today, right? So um, I, I'm also asking like what kind of problem we solve today, not like in the bright future in 20 years ahead, but today what we should do, keeping in mind the roadmap, etc. But how we can improve business today. So and um, yeah, and keep in mind that any next tool, uh, if it can be very complex, but it can require a learning curve, right? We need to, it's not just to implement another spreadsheet, it's about like change management. So people working now in the spreadsheet, so how quickly they can jump into the another way of doing things, right? In automation and optimization, etc. Are they ready for it, etc. So that's all very important for success of the project at there. So yeah, think about what you actually buying, right? And um, I would like see some like levels, right? So we have spreadsheet. We discuss it, small catalog, like stable prices, one clear owner. That still is a good tool. And for many, um, like my advice, my suggestion for many companies is to keep spreadsheet because it's for now it's the best return on investment. So once you feel that okay, we need to be more dynamic, we started to get more competitive prices, so and we are getting bigger, so competitor data is we have like updates like daily, weekly. So in this case, spreadsheet plus price monitoring or some kind of dynamic pricing tool, that could be the next step. Okay, so we have the complexity already. We have price monitoring. We have pricing rules, margin rules, etc. We have big assortment. We have enough sales history data to model it and to get some elasticity insights, so we can start thinking about pricing platform. Okay. And the last level, so when you're enterprise, it means that big departments, many people, we talk not about pricing functionality, but we talk about um, enterprise level systems, which means SLA, security, um, and stability, right? So it's more about like to make on the big scale of data, big organization, to make the system a bulletproof. So it should be very reliable. So it's another like level. So mm, so if you are not enterprise today, um, it's really overkill to look at enterprise platforms. You should really understand your current situation and um, what is your real need, right? Because enterprise platform, it's super expensive. Yeah, it's a feature rich, but super expensive, and it will take sometimes years to implement. And the whole the problem not only the cost of ownership, but also your own resources availability. So many cases you cannot implement it because you have no resource to support it. So yeah, well, okay, you like short list of solution for your current situation, right? Based on your current need. Um, what I really encourage you to when you take a look on the demo, think about not like generic dashboards, etc., but try to evaluate right now with real data, with your own data model, um, how it will work. So um, I would really, I would really, from all the vendors, I'm also the vendor, but I feel that the key success is before jump to the water of the implementation, etc., to see the sandbox, to see the not just the demo, generic demo. I think it's no go, but not just the demo, but to see the sandbox, to try to replace not everything, but part of your Excel, to reproduce the same calculation in the solution, right? To see how fast is it, how accurate is it, so how fast we can put the data. Because if it's not possible on this pre-sale stage, I can guarantee you that you will face the same problems just after the signature is done. So if you cannot push quickly the data to sandbox, you will not be able to push it quickly during the project. But you will start paying, you will be locked to the vendor, and you cannot do anything. So yeah, ask for sandboxes, ask for some test trials, and yeah, try to make sure that it works on the smaller scope before doing the whole project. Okay, that's yeah. There are some other advices, but I think that's super critical. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes the mistake is like we feel that there is a, like a green button or magic magic pillar. Yeah, you can just buy a software that can solve all your problems with profitability and with pricing, and you can just outsource completely to the tool. Um, and we are like over promising this as vendors. Um, Reality is that i- the tool is a tool, right? So the you can have very good results in your spreadsheet and very bad results with a very sophisticated, very expensive software. I've seen it many times in my career, in my experience. So the question is really to understand on the land, right, before jumping, what we want to achieve. So how quickly to prove it, um, and uh, and mm, and after we, so to minimize the risk of it. So what we really need, right now. So, and also super critical is to understand, do we have enough our internal competence and resources to run the project? So, because sometimes it's happening that like the top level is buying the really expensive tool, but middle level have no like have no time to use it at all. IT has no resource; they're super busy with other project. They cannot like help with data integration, etc. So, and it just the whole project is stuck, and like money is spent, and it's bad. It's bad for both sides, by the way. So the client is not getting the benefit, right? So profit benefit, market benefit, whatever, and vendor doesn't get a good reference, right? Doesn't get success in the project. It's not about sales, right? So it's about like value we can deliver. So we exchange the value of that solution to the clients. So yeah, keep it in mind. And um, in retail grid, our vision is, and our like positioning is, we are trying to build the not the just software, but like the to build the solution for the next step. So like you are in spreadsheet now, we also have the spreadsheet, but it's much more powerful. It can solve the problems which I mentioned, right? The scalability, um, and data integration. So we solve that, so you can make the next step very easily without learning curve, without long project. So yeah, so if you're there, contact us. But again, if you feel that okay, you're a really big business now, you need enterprise big solution, also you can reach me. I can give you advices of like what kind of solutions enterprise are available on the market. Thanks a lot. I hope it was a valuable discussion, and um, let's stay in touch and come back later with a new episode. Bye bye.